got a site that is perfect for this airport. Airports are a retail business. No different than a restaurant, a store, any other kind of retail establishment. You have to be on a good location and a good roadway, accessible, easy to get to. I don't know how many airports around the country have been relocated with all these grand plans. One in mid-continent in Belleville, Illinois. The airport moved, but nobody else did. It's too far away, it's inconvenient. Panama City built a new airport out in the boonies, almost in a swamp. Infrastructure didn't move with it. Some T hangars are there, maybe 30. Here at our little airport, we have over 70 aircraft hangars, plus some private. This is city-owned, 70. Plus about another 30, perhaps, for privately owned in our buildings, some of which aren't going to move. Our owners of our businesses are getting along in years, like myself, our avionics shop, other people. There's no guarantee that these people are going to move with the airport. So you will lose jobs, which are already there. You will lose tax base, because all those aircraft are being paid taxes to this Elmore County, ad valorem taxes. If they go to Montgomery, that's gone. Just typically over experience over the years. Tallahassee is a good example. Dr. Egerton told me he had no idea that the Tallahassee airport had been moved until he read it in the paper. It was done and it's taken from a prime location on the main road coming off the interstate. The Sikorsky plant went, lots of jobs. Why couldn't the Sikorsky plant been a quarter mile either way? I don't know, but they went right on the airport, and the airport was then rebuilt and removed to the other side of the river. It's one of those you can't get there from here. You can fly in pretty easily, but to get there by road, it's very difficult. That's what's going to happen with our airport. We're going to be another 5, 10 miles away from where we are now. If you go too far west, you're going to be encroaching over on Prattville area. They got a brand new 5,000-foot runway, all full of jets. If you want jets, they can go in there. They don't have many jets, mind you. They have a few, not too many. The idea of having a 5,000, 8,000-foot runway is going to bring jets in by the bushel. That's pie in the sky, folks. For every jet aircraft, business aircraft, you have 100 piston engine business airplanes. This business about jets being the source of business, it's the small businessman that has a single engine airplane, a Bonanza, a twin engine Baron, Cirrus, any number of private, single engine aircraft. These are the guys that create businesses. There's a brand new Little Caesars Pizza at the plaza in Millbrook. The owner happened to be on the airport a week ago, walking around looking at things, and I happened to be there, and he told me who he was. He said, I'm flying in here because my business is down there. I've just opened a new business. Well, multiply that guy by thousands across the country. It's the small businessman that employs people, the small businessman that creates business, and we're not going to see it if we move our airport. And then the kicker is, if the airport moves, we're looking at $10 to $15 million per building. Now, where is that money going to come from? Who's going to pay it? Is the airport going to be owned by Wetumpka? Are they going to give it away to an authority? A county, Combo City, more politics involved, more entities, more municipalities, conflict, conflict, conflict. It's bad enough working with Wetumpka. You start moving airports and creating our airport authorities, we're going to have multiple problems.
Go back to
Say again?
You said it's bad enough working with the
Yeah, I did say that. Are you seriously saying to me you don't think it's been hard to work with these people over the years? We've got empty corporate space on our airport plan. We've had people contact us wanting to build a hangar. The last 5 years, years, there's probably been 6 people, companies, small companies, that want to build a hangar on our airport. The city would not give them anything in the way of a promise they could have a lease or any kind of an arrangement. I've got a letter in my bag from a guy at a steel company, man, in Prattville, and that's just one. Yes, there's been difficulties, you know that, Mayor. And I've tried to settle some difficulties of my own, but this is a different issue. This is the airport itself. So, that's what I think about it, and if we don't take some time to air this a little bit and put some sunshine on it, then it's not a very, very good situation. So I urge the committee or the council to vote no at the time, for the present time, and delay it, and let's talk about it a little more. Thank you.
Mr. Ramsey?
Yes, sir.
I've been on the council for 2 years now, and I have never talked to you, so I have no idea that you have a problem. So,
Well-
in dealing with Wetumpka, they've never come forward.
Oh, yes, I have.
Not to me.
No, no, not
I
to
have
me,
never
no.
met you,
No,
never
no,
talked to you.
that's
Now,
correct.
some of the others may, but that's sort of,
Yeah.
you know, to come and say that we've been a problem.
Oh,
and
yeah.
this has never come forward in 2 years.
It goes back to the early 80s and beyond.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
have you given this council an opportunity to do anything?
I've never come before the council with my particular problems, and I've never come before to talk about the pluses of the aviation. We were supposed to deal with the mayor and the representative of the council who was on the airport liaison, who is Councilman Washington, I believe.
You were talking about the $150,000 that's allocated for the study,
Yes.
and that's taxpayers' money. So if it's allocated for that, if you understand how government works, once it's allocated, it's not gonna go back to the taxpayers.
Oh, I know
mean,
that.
so it's either gonna go for that study, or it can be designated for something else, but it's gonna stay within
Yeah, I
that area.
understand. Yeah, that's how budgets work. They get spent or they don't get, they don't go back, that's right.
Exactly, and I do believe that Mr. Mass said that, and maybe Dr. Egerton too, I'm not sure, that this has been designated money. It's already designated for that, so it's not like it's, that we don't use it, it's gonna go somewhere else.
No, but maybe it could go to a new hangar at the airport. Would be a heck of a lot more constructive than blowing it on a study like this.
Do you personally own your hangar?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
That was quite an investment in the airports, and I'm one of 7 people that do. Dr. Kemp is here, he has a hangar, and there's several others.
Well, I have had calls from a number of the pilots out there, myself,
Yeah.
that are in support of this.
Well, that could be, I don't know, but they may not have an equity, and they may not see this, they may not be business pilots, maybe they are just pleasure, and I'm a business pilot, I fly for my business, that's why I'm there. So there's many of us are in that situation. Anyway, thank you.
I would like to say something, no disrespect to you, but I do know, Mr. Ramsey, I have spoken with people who are corporate executives. I grew up on the Pike Road side of town. I do know for a fact that those corporate people who live on that side of town would love to come over here to this airport. They don't want to go to Wetumpka. We're not worried about Wetumpka. And they don't want to go to Montgomery. They'd rather come this direction. It's from east side of Montgomery coming over the toll bridge to here. So I do know, because I've spoken with these people who have Lear jets, who would come and spend in your town. They would donate a lot of time. I mean, you could get big corporate jets. Your airport's not big enough. They can't come here.
No.
Don't you want those people to spend money at your airport so you can have more?
Oh yeah, I'm also for dirty water too, ma'am. Yes, of course I do. What do you think? But the jets
I work
aren't
with these
the
people.
answer
I've
to everybody's
spoken to
problem.
them.
The
I
jets aren't
speak
the
to
answer.
these people. You wanna build it. If you do things the same old way, you're not gonna get new results.
Right, you said, okay.
Mayor, I've got a question, and it may be premature, but I'm sort of notorious for asking premature questions. I do know that the current airport has debt, we have T-hangar debt. What amount of debt are we looking at in passing this resolution? Once we get to the point of feasibility study being done, us moving forward, how does the city of Wetumpka's interest as far as debt, money we owe to somebody, how does that come into this equation?